Welcome back, Sunrise. Mr. Onyeka, Labour is perceived to be compromised. Why should Nigerians even look to Labour to see that things are working well? Labour is supposed to be a pressure group, but it looks like Lagos.
Labour, the Nigerian trade union movement is not compromised in any way. That is the truth. The fact is that a lot of people, there are wrong perceptions out there that, they go out there, when they go for meetings, they are settled. For Christ's sake, if there is that compromise that people talk about, I wouldn't be as poor as I am today. Because compromise, you are paying us, you are giving us. I am still a tenant. I don't even own a decent car. And people are talking about compromise. The people that are involved in the trade union movement in Nigeria are responsible Nigerians. You see, it is not only out there, okay, in the public space, even within the movement itself. When chairmen of branches go on negotiation, the followers will say, they are compromised, they have gone to get something. But that is not always the case. Yes,
not always.
Not always.
Quoting you, not always.
Amongst every 12, there is always a Judas. That does not mean that the ministry of Jesus Christ was a compromised ministry.
So, in other words, Labour itself has some Judas.
No, there are bad eggs everywhere.
Judas here and there.
Judas is here and there.
So
there's small living.
So how would this boil down to getting the new minimum wage? And why even push for new minimum wage? Are you considering the fact that some states may not have the resources to handle this?
That is not true, once again. The fact is that almost all of the states that we have visited have capacity to pay. It's the willingness. I kept on repeating myself. It is not for lack of resources that they don't pay. It's for the lack of patriotism, for the lack of will to pay. These people want to corner more resources to themselves. They see worker salary as charity, which it is not. These are earned income. People suffer to earn, and you decide that you're not going to pay. You see, the fact is that the new national minimum wage is something that must have to be paid, whether this government likes it or not. Nigerian workers are resolved to do all it takes to ensure that we bring government to account, to ensure that Nigerian workers enjoy a new national minimum wage at least before the end of this month.
I want you to react to this tweet from Festus Akimboye where Nigerians are beginning to portray union guys as bad because they're not careful not to wreck the economy because of their incessant strikes.
Have we gone on strike? When did we go on strike over new minimum wage? Since 2015, this expired.
No, it's all about wages. ASU is on strike now. It's all about wages.
This expired since 2015. And we have showed enormous responsibility and maturity and consideration in this matter.
Did you hear this? ASU is on strike. Some other associations in schools, in tertiary institutions are on strike. There are strikes everywhere. Labor unions are holding the entire country to ransom.
Do we reward impunity by government? Do we reward insensitivity by government? We are helping government to lead the people aright. It is our duty. It's our responsibility to protect workers. It's our responsibility to ensure that the purchasing power of workers is enhanced so that what will happen? So that those inventories in the warehouses of our manufacturers would reduce. And when it's reduced, factories will produce more. More workers will be employed. Nigeria's economy will make progress. We want to assist this government to ensure that the right things are done. That is our responsibility. And in trying to discharge our responsibilities, the government is not meeting us halfway. Talk less of meeting us at the place that we want to be. They are not meeting us at all. The government has not shown the right sensitivity in this matter.
Okay, let me
I was going to read this tweet because they're talking about Labour not doing enough. So they only go on strikes for all these things. So Steve Nwabuisi says, until Nigerians come out en masse and weigh down on the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission and National Assembly to take a pay cut of not less than 70%, we are not ready in Nigeria. Why isn't there inflation in the roughly 14 million naira legislatures end? the question is, has Labour looked at the Wages Commission, looked at the Revenue RAMFAC, as we call them, to say you need to reduce what you're allocating to the payment of salaries of these public office holders? Have you done that?
Yeah, we have. Remember that in 2012, one of our demands was essentially on the cost of governance.
You didn't pursue it?
We pursued it.
So what result did it yield?
No, we pursued it, but when they refused to give grants, what do you do?
Budge.
People will accuse us.
And you don't budge.
Okay, hold on. There are some state governors, for instance, some state governments that have more than 500 essays.
Jesus.
Has Labour done anything about it? Because that's cost of government.
Those are the facts we're talking about. We're saying that these are excessive facts that you have to look at yourself. You don't talk about your wage bill. Let us deconstruct the wage bill. What is the content of your wage bill?
Has Labour gone on strike in those states to ensure that these things are pushed forward?
In 2012 or 2011, I was in one of the states. In fact, 2 states I went on this same minimum wage. We were talking about those issues. Those were the issues we were pointing out to the government because we have the facts. Now, let me give you an example. Some state governors are budgeting like, on the average, on monthly basis, about 5 million naira for food alone. For food. The state governor, not for the state governor and his family, for food alone.
5 million.
5 million naira for food alone. Divide it,
caviar and champagne.
Divide it. Now, look at even the federal budget. The president and his family for food alone will take 98 million naira for food alone. Take it down. That's about 7-point-something million naira every month. And you find it difficult. You find it difficult to pay Nigerian workers 30,000 naira, 1,000 naira a day. You find it difficult. But you take 98, you take 7-point-something million for yourself. For yourself and your family. Some people take, in the state government, you take 5 million for yourself and your family. So it's, I think...
Every month.
Yes. And I think that we have to look at the mental disposition of our leaders in this country. Okay? To look at how they see workers. They see us as subhumans.
Well, Chris,
they don't see us as human beings.
Do you realize that?
That's terrible.
Do you realize that the governors or the president hosts people? People come visiting and all of that.
Yes.
Is that all?
That's outside of the entertainment and all those other ones. We are talking about the one directly allocated to the governors and the president for their families. Okay? In other climes, presidents pay for their food. But in Nigeria, once you are a governor, you are in El Dorado. Once you're a governor. And then they see us as people who do not have blood in their bodies that run. They see us as people who should not go to hospital when they get sick. If somebody gets sick and is flown abroad, Nigerian workers get sick and they die in one hospital somewhere there. Access to quality healthcare is denied us. Schools are denied us. Public schools are no longer schools in Nigeria. They want to condemn our children to public schools.
Chris, do you know that if these were the issues that you were making this fuss for, every Nigerian would line up behind you?
You have been making this argument. In fact, the labor movement in Nigeria is at the forefront of bringing out all these issues to the front burner of national discourse. Issues of corruption, we generated it. It was generated by labor. Issues of cost of governance was generated by labor. Issues of quality Chris, housing and the rest was generated by labor.
Again, Chris.
That is the truth.
Someone said it. Yusuf Adebanjo sent in a tweet here. He says he knows an ex-governor who flies between Ibadan and Abuja regularly in a private jet.
That is the truth.
Who is it that manages that private jet? It's a labor union. At the airports are labor unions. So has the unions at the airport say, you know what, Mr. Governor, we're not moving. This plane is not moving. You're owing salaries in your state. Go and pay salaries.
Commercial.
So what we're saying, if labor is demanding this thing, labor needs to be seen to be firm.
It's for us to talk about them, for us to bring out these issues, so that Nigerians will know.
Wait. Are you saying that your unions have not been seeing these guys flying back and forth?
That when we go and stop such private aircraft from flying, some people will say, this is private business. Why are you stopping him? Why do you want him to die? He has to feed his family. They are going to lose workers and all those. And you see, these are the sensitivities that we must have.
No, but we didn't say stop the private.
No, stop the governor from traveling. But the governor is going to pay the man that owns the private jet. And the man has workers that work under him.
Okay, so that's what Labour is considering as well.
No, so we bring them to the fore for you to hear, for you to see, and so for you to judge for yourself.